in the Nationals 2023, and specifically the Champion of Champions men's event, where we have Jack East from Western Australia to take on Lee Schraner from New South Wales. Clive Adams here. I've got Peter Harris joining me once again. How are you, mates?
Afternoon, Clive. We're going very well.
We've had a little bit of a break because we had quite a quick one in our last match,
but
I reckon we might have a real battle here. This whole draw in the Champion of Champions for the men is extremely tight. Craig Mills sits on top. He's won both of his games so far. Then on one win, we have Daniel Baker from the Northern Territory, Lee Schraner from New South Wales, Jack East from WA, Glenn Pitts from Queensland, and Scott Dagwell and Brenton Cody yet to bring up their first win, but they've also the two players that have had to buy, they've had one less opportunity. So it is very, very tight, and this round of matches will go a long way to starting to form our ladder. The players are just completing their roll-up, so a couple more bowls to play there, and then we will be into it. Of course, for the Nationals 2023, it is a big thank you to Tourism Western Australia, the Department of Local Government, Sport and Cultural Industries here in Western Australia, and of course the City of Joondalup, where all the action is happening. They've all done a marvellous job in allowing this event to come to Perth, and we're just on day one, Pete, and it's already been fantastic.
Oh yeah, no complaints yet.
5:30 Western Standard Time this evening, we will have the Under-18 girls final. Now, I can tell you, if you're from Tasmania, you'll be happy because Chloe Collins is booked in. She is definitely going to be in tonight's final, and she will play, well, we don't quite know yet, but Stella Palmer leads the other section from Queensland. She now plays Evie Exton from South Australia. Now, for Evie to go ahead of Stella, Evie must win by 4 shots or more. If she wins by 3, then it gets interesting.
Andrew's got a bit of work to do.
Yeah, exactly. The calculators will be out. But, so that's what's happening in the girls' event. There's still a slight chance for Amity Bickley, but she would need a massive win, and even then that might not be enough depending on other results. I think Amity's probably more of a chance to be able to get into that bronze medal match than the gold.
Yep, they do play a bronze medal match as well.
So we will have that match for you at 5:30 Western Standard Time, but we are away here, and Jack East is about to play his first bowl. The players have kept it simple for us in terms of the bowls they're using, because they're both using Aero Evolve, and we've got the green and black bowl for Jack East, which also matches his uniform, and we've got the blue bowls for Lee Schraner, which also match his uniform.
Very good.
Yeah, this should be a cracker.
It should be. So they both narrowly lost their first, and then won their second. So, of course, Lee pre-tournament favourite. I don't think that's any surprise to anyone in his record in this tournament, and of course the homeboy Jack, who up and coming.
Of course, it's not only Lee's record in this tournament, but he's been winning singles tournaments everywhere.
Yes.
Golden Nugget champion as well.
Yep. So, really good test for Jack here. See where he's at right at this stage of his career.
Just pushed that one past, but could be useful later. Mike Watts watching from Wales. Hello, Mike. Another one of the regular viewers on Rinkside Live. Well, it hasn't taken Lee long to find range. Well, there's just trickle past for that. I thought it was turning earlier than that. Jack East, one of the up-and-coming stars, still carving his way through his career, Pete.
Certainly. He's come a long way, and he's got a long way to go. He's a great young man, and listens to everything, takes it all in, but also works out things that work for him and what doesn't.
Well, what a great shot that is. Nudges the jack, probably makes 2. Steve Beckwith, our marker, and indicates yes, it is definitely 2. Well, the common feeling amongst all the players here, Pete, that it's been nice and warm.
Nice and warm.
We're just waiting for that sea breeze to arrive fully.
Yeah.
It's trying.
It's trying, yeah. It has, yeah.
Big weight from Leroy, removes one of his own and one of Jack's. Still one there to Jack East. Interesting with Leroy, he's one of those players that'll play the weighted shots, but he actually prefers the draw game. It's generally the way he prefers to play.
Yes.
But he'll play the weighted shots when required and has them in the kit bag.
It's a pretty good mindset for a singles player.
Yeah.
Yeah, not afraid to play them, but would rather draw themselves.
Anthony is watching on holidays in Manado, North Sulawesi.
North Sulawesi. Wow.
Somewhere in Africa, I guess.
Guessing.
Is this going to do enough for Jack? Looks like it will. Just needs to get down a little, and that will count for two.
So interesting decision early for Leroy. It's so Jack does have a toucher in the ditch, and he has the other back one, so Lee has no choice but to draw it.
Hooter in the background indicates the start for the under-18s, and it looks like Lee's just come up a little short there, so we'll just check whether that is still two. On our angle it looks like it.
It does.
Two it is. Jack East scores first in this race to 21.
North Sulawesi, province of India, I believe.
Oh, wow.
So we're
Okay, I never was that good at geography.
No.
In fact, Indonesia is what... Indonesia...
province of Indonesia. That's what I said, didn't I?
You said India.
Oh. I'm only reading it here.
There's a lot of letters, but there's some in the middle that make it different. Yeah.
My apologies. I can't read as well. Can't write, can't read. Pictures I got up here look very nice. Nice.
Alison
Skip-
Venn, another player that's
skip
going
diving.
to be here for the open sides. Good on you, Alison. Look forward to having you over here in WA. And Andrew watching from South Africa. South Africa, another great bowls nation. They love their bowls in South Africa.
So the way they're going now towards the clubhouse is currently downwind, so this will be a bit quicker.
Yeah, so that's changed.
Yep, that's gone
Because
the other way.
The wind is basically diagonally changed.
Mm.
So, yeah, with the wind is no longer with the wind. Again, not uncommon in WA for that to be the case.
Nice start from Jack.
It's always a tricky one in our local pennant competition, Pete. You go down on a Saturday morning to have a practice, and by the time you go out there in the afternoon, it's completely different.
Yep. Yep. Practice is really just warming up.
Yes. Blake Nan says, watching from a forklift at work. Blake,
Yeah.
just watch where you're going.
Concentrate, Blake. Nice shot by Lee.
This looks like it might just be carrying past a little as well. Slight correction, but... No, actually, it's tracked all the way back. Wow.
Yes. Yeah, no
That just gives us an indication of how quick this green's running at the moment. Of course, we are at the tee. Often you'll find that the tee just runs that little bit quicker because it's generally where people stand most. Often gets potentially rolled that little bit more with the rolling up and down the green, Pete, sometimes?
Yeah, I suppose it can do.
Yeah.
That's where you sort of stop the roller, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
So,
Jack with the change of hand now goes to the backhand side, which is now the wider side in this direction. That breeze really starting to come through now. You can actually feel a change of temperature. It's cooled down a little. Jack looking for a bit of Jack. Not to confuse everyone.
no, that's gonna.
Now Jack's standing on rink 6. Now Craig Mills did that earlier. Unfortunately for Craig, there was a game going on when he stood there.
Yeah, so this is where under 18s would normally be playing, but there's a bye situation in the under 18s. So.
Leroy just needs that to pull up, and it's trickled past. So 2 to Schraner at the moment.
Steve Beckwith has a look, but
Keeps it to himself.
Keeps it to Secret Society. Seems like a longer than usual stance there from Jack. It's not usually a slower player.
I guess with the breeze up, maybe it was just a feeling that he just wanted to wait for the breeze to settle a little. Potentially that can happen here. Needs to just drop down now. Well, if it falls over,
it's close. I don't
it's
think
close.
so.
I think it's still one to Leroy still.
Thank you, Steve.
So looks like Leroy might get his score ticking over. Other matches, we've got Glenn Pitts playing Dan Baker at the moment. Queensland against the Northern Territory. And we've got Victoria versus the ACT. So we've got Brenton Code playing Scott Dagwell.
So one of them will not have will have 2 losses. Is that right? They've got a bye and a loss each, those two?
Yes. Yes. One shot it is to Lee Schraner. So a 2-1 lead to Jack East here. And remember, if you've only just tuned in, we are playing first to 21. So John's put a tip in there, Lee by 15 shots.
15, that's a good win.
It's a big call early. We'll wait and see. I think you'll get some WA viewers that disagree with you, John, but we do know the quality of Lee Schraner, of course.
If he gets on a roll, it's harder to get on a roll with this breeze around.
Yeah, the challenge of grouping 4 bowls in these conditions is a big challenge.
Yeah, it's not that easy.
It's something that the local players at Sorrento and in Perth recognise. Sometimes it's a style of game thing here at Sorrento. When the breeze is up, it becomes a little bit draw or drive.
Yes.
You don't want to get caught trying to play those finesse shots, and first to the jack is a big advantage.
Nice start from Jack.
Just needs it to pull up. Yeah, he's done well there. Just wary of that big swooping. Not quite so much now with the wind where it is.
Call with confidence. Just going to pull up a little short here, so just in between at the moment.
Anthony asking whether there are turf greens in the NT or are they all synthetic. I think they're all synthetic now in the NT.
I think so. I'm sure Tristan will be able to answer that for us.
Jack just needs to have the journey here to count, and he has so far. Still a little bit of room.
Yeah, still a couple of feet. Following around, is he getting there? I think he's doing enough. I hesitate.
Well, he's enough to make it close, that's for sure. Okay.
Well,
So the call from Steve Beckwith was that it is close, but he favours Lee. Schraner has the shot.
it's just not sure what he's thinking on this forehand. Is he thinking around or beat his own, or is he thinking underneath?
I think he's considering around. Oh, he's got a magpie. He's got a magpie in the middle of the green.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah. So
There he is.
just have to aim between the magpie's legs and hope that he moves.
It's chasing a bug.
We were wondering what the delay was, and I looked
Yeah.
back in the middle of the green, and there was the magpie. This is very
Good
close
jab,
from
Jack.
Jack. This is beautifully
It's a very
played.
great shot.
What a shot!
That's a nice switch.
Well, that settles who's got shot.
He's just going to have a look at the head.
Of course, you can get all your score updates following the link in the description of our feed. We know it says live scores. It's close to live. Yes. So Aaron Delaport doing the hard yards, keeping all the scores up to date for you. So please see those as score updates, and we'll give you the ones that we can see as we go through anyway. But it's very handy given the fact we've got 4 greens in play. We can't possibly keep you up to date with every one of them. Okay, we will have a look at that. There is obviously something wrong with our live scoring, so we'll just have to have a look at what's happening there.
He's playing weight but misses wide, so he got rid of the potential second shot. So
the score's currently
Different
2-1 to Jack East, but it's not registering on our scoreboard, so we'll just get that fixed for you.
here we go, updated now.
There we are.
So last bowl, Jack holding 1. Be playing the same shot. He'll definitely get the turn on this hand to get around it with ease, as he did with his last bowl. Well, his weight is pretty good again. It's 2 really good shots here by Jack.
Look at that judgment. Beautifully played. 2 shots it is to Jack East, and he leads it 4 shots to 1. We've got a couple of comments come through. People are loving the beautiful flowers. That's the first thing.
Yeah,
So that's great.
Yep. There's some more you can't see behind us, which are just as spectacular.
And Graham said that does Lee's little step delivery help with the fast-paced green? Any opinion on that, Pete?
Let me have a look. No, well, I'll come back to you.
Okay. All right. We'll wait and get Pete's expert opinion shortly.
yeah, they'll be hanging out.
Joyce No Lee is only on 1, so it is a 4-1 lead to Jack East. That score is correct. It was Jack that scored first on the first end. He scored a 2. Lee came back with a 1. And it's now 4-1 in favour of Jack.
I'll say it is an interesting delivery, considering he's obviously brought up in Victoria, which are notably a little bit slower. At certain times of the year, they certainly have their fast tracks as well. Then he went to Tasmania again, which
Generally known for slower tracks.
Slower tracks, not certainly not slow.
Mm.
So it served him well on those kind of tracks as well as the quicker ones.
And Sharon's got a question. How long are the greens?
I believe... Well, yeah, we've had this discussion before.
We have.
I believe they're 38 metres. But wider than they are longer.
Yes.
They're closer to 40 wide, which gives you a comfortable... Well, they've got 6 rings, but you can actually get a comfortable probably 7 on them. 38 metres, I believe.
Both players using Aero Evolve, and they've colour-coded their bowls to their uniforms quite nicely for us in this match. Jack holding sway early, and I'm talking to Lee at lunchtime, and he at the break there, and I said to him it should be a good game, and he said, well, you know, he didn't really handle this green particularly well in the first game, and that's the game. Lee.
Yep.
And of course, we know that Lee lost that match to Dan Baker, as Jack tries to find a way, but finds his way straight into Lee Schraner's bowl. So there was some trepidation there for Lee.
But you know he would have learnt from that.
Well, it's also completely different conditions.
Yeah, yes. So he's attacking this bowl with 2 seconds. And got it. So, great shot. I think it's 2 to... Yep, be 2 to Leroy. Really good shot. Jack was just as good probably, but...
Tony says for slow greens, come to England.
Yeah,
yep.
We're talking a different language when we talk slow Australia.
We are, yes. All right, so a little bit of pressure on Jack now to see if he can pop another one in there. Well, he's fallen in behind it.
He is. Weight looks okay. I was thinking it might be a little quick.
He
It
got
doesn't
the
matter if you got the jack.
What a shot. Beautifully
Okay,
played. That's enough
so-
probably for 2.
Probably.
I wonder whether Lee will consider trying to remove both bowls. With the bowl right on the front of the jack, there is an angle there to get them
Yep.
both.
There's nothing to lose for him.
He's
'Cause
just played a drive.
there's no other bowls behind the jack. I think you're correct.
Solid weight from Lee Schraner. He's got bowl onto jack, so that wasn't the result he was looking for. That's a toucher that's gone in with it, so it's still going to be 2 to Jack East. And he's won 3 ends. He's scored 2 on each of them.
That lead by 15 is looking a bit doubtful at the moment.
Yes, it is.
Still a chance, still on, but doubtful.
6-1 advantage to Jack East. Certainly, you know, I can see where that prediction comes from, because
definitely.
people know Lee, they know how good a player he is.
Definitely.
Jack is no slouch, and Jack's a fighter as well.
Yeah,
He showed that in the first game. Which
he's a under-18s national singles champion.
yeah.
So his singles is a good game for him. I think he's made semi-finals of our state singles in the past, and obviously champions this year or last season. So he's a really good singles player.
It's a 5-2 lead to Scott Dagwell over Brenton Code.
Great start from Jack.
And Queensland is leading over the Northern Territory. I just don't quite have a look at that board, so I'll give you that update shortly.
See, the NT contingent is back, so obviously they've played their game, and
Yes.
they were going up to Joondalup this morning.
Lee just dropping short with that first attempt. Gives Jack a chance to really consolidate on first bowl that's in the area. Good on you, Rowdy. Mary watching from Scotland and loving the flowers. Everyone is impressed with the flowers.
I'm going to have to pass that on. I'm not sure
Yeah.
Alan, the greenkeeper, is solely responsible for them. I'll find out for you. We might be able to get him on and find out what his or hers.
So great that we've got people watching from all over Australia
So-
and all over the world. The beauty of live streaming. Now, as Lee found a correction here, it looks to be tracking a little bit too fast. So he needs one in between. In the meantime, Jack will be looking for the same thing.
Yeah. Just going to pull up short.
Well, it'll do enough to
It'll
count.
do enough to count, but
Yep.
yeah. So that's the second shot. Let's put Lee onto the other hand.
John has clarified, yes, we do the gardens and surrounds plus the greens. Good on you, John. You've done a fantastic job, mate. These greens
Yes.
are a treat. So great to have you watching. We'll get to your discussion at the end of the end, Mark. That's an interesting one.
So Lee just coming this way, especially not quite grabbing that weight.
Well, this is a huge opportunity for Jack right now. He leads 6-1.
And that's
He's holding 2.
Pushing up into the breeze. Just yeah, if he could slide around his own at the front there, just sit him behind there, give no targets.
Well, there's no danger either because he gets a little nudge of the Jack. He's only making it better for himself.
Yep. Come down.
Looks like a slightly tighter
I'd
line.
say that's a much tighter line.
Just needs to clear the front, and he has.
Yeah, well, did enough.
That will do.
So, pretty important bowl here from
Well,
Lee.
the signal's thrown a measure at the moment from Steve. So the back one's not necessarily out of the equation at the moment.
Oh, I think the track's okay. What's the weight like? It's pretty good.
Is it running?
I think so.
Oh, it absolutely is. What a great shot.
It's a pressure bowl so
That
early in the game.
will do for Leroy.
Bit of a shake of the head saying, why did it take 4 bowls?
6-2 the advantage to Jack East as Leroy scores a shot and gets his score moving once more. So, yes, for people unsure, John McFadden there is the greenkeeper here, so they're doing a fine job. They really are. And Mark is asking, many bowlers are no longer balancing with their hand or arm on the left knee, Pete. He thinks he's noticed that.
No longer. If you look at English bowlers, they never have.
No, they tend to walk through their delivery, and that's their way of finding more weight easily.
Yeah, Lee doesn't. He's very close, but he doesn't. I suppose it's a
Certainly from my perspective, that's where my left hand ends up.
yeah. It was certainly a coached thing back in our day.
Often it just controls movement. It's not even necessarily about balance. It's about
No, it's
not
just-
having that arm waving in the breeze sort of thing.
Yeah, it
you
just
know?
feels more comfortable.
Mm.
Yeah, no, Jack doesn't. I'm being honest with you. It's not something I take too much notice of. Jack doesn't either. Maybe they're just younger nowadays. They don't need to. They don't need the balance like I used to need.
Yeah, maybe. Jack found his way past there, and that. Well, that'll be close for shot at the moment between those two bowls. Both players now with the opportunity to make the slight correction that they need to make. And you see this bowl, good view of it
Swoop
turning
around.
in.
Swooped underneath. Good. Done enough. There goes the question. One down. Does switch. sensible thing to do.
Yeah, with the 2 away bowls coming in, especially knowing that he has actually got second shot.
Yep. Just got to hold that line. It'll duck away quick. Didn't quite get past.
No harm done. That ball was already shot, so it's reduced his room to move just a little. And we've got someone just walking across the back of the rink with no awareness. They're not even sure what's happened.
No,
just
still doesn't
needs to stand still.
And
off he goes again.
It's okay. So now the umpire needs to stand still as well. Leroy's not going to be happy here.
If you're up the end of a bowling green and people are playing in that direction, just stand still.
Yeah, it annoys some people more than others.
Yes.
And we've just found out it clearly annoys Lee.
Lucy Beer watching on. Hi, Lucy.
Hasn't harmed him anyway. That's experience.
Lucy, a fine player in her own right. Great to have you on board watching. So, can Jack come up with something here? He hasn't been far away with his first 2 attempts. His last bowl on a slightly better line would have been right in the mix here.
He's got the same weight.
Tell you what,
awfully close.
Watch this come home. Watch this come home. What a shot! Oh, it's fallen out.
Unlucky.
What a great bowl.
He's still got a bowl to play.
Well, Lee won't want to leave this the way it is because that bowl's sticking out invitingly for Jack East just to reach up there and land. I think Lee needs to almost play that shot himself.
Yeah, he can play with confidence because he's unlikely to get back to Jack's to turn it because it's behind his own little one. So
it's sort of that Lee just wants like a foot over.
Yeah.
Just to land in there. If he moves the Jack, he only moves it a minuscule amount. Now the flies are on him.
Having a big conversation going on behind him as well. So Lee has changed his hand, so he has. Well, it's an interesting decision.
Tell you what, it's a pretty good effort.
It's a great shot.
What a shot, Lee Schraner. Oh my.
It's a great shot. There's no doubt about that. But he has chosen, I suppose, to leave that ball there to be sat and challenge Jack to do it.
Boy, oh boy, what a shot. Well, in a way, he's challenged Jack and said, well, I'm going to leave that there for you.
Yeah. Exactly.
I guess he might have been concerned by playing backhand. He could have turned his own bowl out. If he got the outside edge of his own, turned it out and fallen out and he's down.
Yep.
And would have left a good setup for Jack then to try and get a second one in there. So
I certainly wouldn't be challenging Lee's decision making.
No.
He is a very good decision maker.
Glenn Pitts leading 7-4. We've got to look at that scoreboard now. So yeah, 7-4 lead to Glenn Pitts over Dan Baker. Jack's thinking about using some weight here.
I think he is. Don't know if he can. If you can see, he wouldn't. I suppose he can't see the edge of his bowl. If everything comes up, he's okay.
Well, he's not far away from something. Well, he's bounced a lot of bowls. I don't don't know. This has landed very well for him.
No.
This might be 3 down, I think.
Looks like a lot of Lee Schraner bowls there.
There's a lot of movement, and unfortunately for Jack, it was a lot of his own bowls. So it looks like 3. We'll just wait for the confirmation. Perhaps if we just pan back a little bit. Yep. See those other bowls come into the view, and yes, 3 shots, it is confirmed. So 3 shots to Lee Schraner, and that narrows things up. It's still a lead to Jack East, but by just 1 shot now. They've played 6 ends. Well, of course, we keep track of the ends, but it's 21 shots scored to win the match. Just a reminder, we will be back tomorrow right here at Sorrento for continuing action of the Champion of Champions, but we've also got the Under-18 Girls Final tonight, 5:30 Western Standard Time, so make your adjustments, which is just about a different adjustment in every state and territory at the moment. Yes. So make the necessary adjustments from that 5:30 time slot. If you're wondering regarding that, it is just approaching 3 p.m. here in WA right now.
So Lee's shortened this up considerably. Started well. Shouldn't worry Jack, I wouldn't have thought. Doesn't mind a short end.
Robert just asking about the speed of the green at the moment. Look, it's difficult for us to put an exact finger on it, but I did have a chat with Sam Ferguson after the last match, and she did mention that it was running quite well. It was running quick.
Yeah.
So my estimation is probably staying around about the 16-second mark at this stage, 16, maybe 16 and a half. It's certainly turning well, and it's drawing nicely.
Maybe it's averaging the 15 and a half because they're pushing into a slight breeze this end, so it might be down to 15, maybe 16 downwind.
Yeah. Plenty of finish on the bowls though. As you see, this one come trickling in. I reckon the best guide to that pace is how much turn it's achieving late.
Yep. And this is the quickest of the 4.
Yep.
It's slightly slow. We haven't seen too much on the other greens, but they have a bit more of a tinge of green. They've certainly been playing on this green all winter, so it's pretty rock hard, a bit harder than the others.
Jack and another here. He's acclimatised to the shorter end pretty well. A little bit of Jack perhaps. Not quite.
But nice home. Nice home if Lee does something, or if Lee gets close, it gives him something to play to.
Oh, solid weight. As you talk about Lee doing something.
He's going to do something.
Well, he's cleaned out all of his, but he's got the Jack with it. So...
Well, he's got shot. That's the best.
Yeah, we won't quite write that one down yet, though, Pete.
Okay, decision time. Is Jack drawing one or whipping that bowl out for 3?
I think it has to be the draw, doesn't it?
I know there'll be bowlers that might. Seriously, Jack, I don't think is one of them. But
I can't quite see the bowl we're talking about because Steve has positioned himself off the line.
Really.
Steve doing the right thing there as marker, just staying off the line. It just happens that the bowl we're talking about is there.
Yeah, so Lee's only got one bowl on the green.
He's drawing the shot.
As he should.
Right decision. It's the right decision as long as he draws it.
Yes. If you're tempted.
And just needs it to get down into bounds, and that's all good. So that's a good bowl from Jack.
Bowl?
And just one it is. So 7-5 the lead to Jack East in an eventful couple of ends there, and
good draws, a bit of attacking. What we'd like to see.
7-6 the lead to Glenn Pitts over Dan Baker at the moment, and a 7-5 lead to Brenton Code over Scott Dagwell. That's the other matches that are going on in the men's side of the Australian Champion of Champions singles draw. Of course, all of this brought to you by Tourism WA, the Department of Local Government, Sport and Cultural Industries, and of course the City of Joondalup.
Jack's rolling a pretty medium length. Jack's about 6 foot off the tee, and the mat would be probably 10 foot off the tee.
And 7-5, Pete. You think Jack's happy with that start? I guess, you know, playing a player of the standing of Lee Schraner, he's well and truly aware of the quality of a Lee Schraner. That it start's important, isn't it?
Yes.
You want to elaborate on that, or?
No. I was just watching that ball come in. So.
There's Lee nails it.
Yes. Well, you don't want to get behind. You don't want to give a quality person like Lee Schraner the confidence that I've got your number early.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to make him fight, and
Jack not far away with this one. Just going to trickle across the front. Is it going to hang on? Just too far, but a very handy second shot.
I know Lee would respect all his opponents, but it certainly helps if you get a few close early, just to show him that you are there and you mean business. And he's certainly done that. He's played very well. It's not as if Lee's been all over the place and Jack's just scraping in. But can he keep it up to the next level? Because we know Lee can.
Yeah, the great thing is we've seen both players come up with some great shots so far. I think there's got to be a temptation to switch to the backhand now for Jack. That head sort of looks open on the backhand, and that's where he's going. Just interested with this lineup, he might be using a bit of weight. I doubt that, but just the way he took up position.
Yeah, it's not a wide lolling position, is it? He has got some weight on that, hasn't he? Not a lot.
Pushing up to land or trail.
He has got some on it. Comes into
very
view.
Close.
He's got.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yes.
He was right in the zone, caught the edge of the bowl, and has now popped that Jack into a very awkward spot. He's only one down now, so there is that benefit. Lee Schraner might think about just making sure he gets one past the Jack here. Well, he hasn't. He's just played draw weight.
He might
going to be in the zone.
Count. He may not. Probably not. Steve Beckwith. Got pretty good eyes.
1 and a measure was the call. Yeah. So Jack needs another close bowl here.
Yeah, he can't afford to tack it too much because his bowl is sitting there waiting to be sat from Lee. So if he doesn't draw a shot, he needs to draw another second.
There's going to be the temptation to overplay this and try and pop Leroy's bowl onto the Jack. The best result here is for Jack just to get another one close.
It's got a bit more weight than that. It's unfortunate again. Friendly flies.
And here's an indication of Lee's experience in singles. A lot of players would change to the backhand now. He's saying, no, I'm settled on that forehand line.
Yep.
I'm just going to stay there and just draw around the front, trust my line. And what's he come up with?
He's going to run through, I think, isn't he?
Well, only just. But that, I believe, will be two to Lee. I don't think that last one's done enough to get in. Having a quick look, I think Jack's moved those bowls out just so that Lee is doing Lee the right the right thing and letting him have a quick look. Two shots it is to Lee Schraner, and we are tied up at 7 shots apiece. The only thing I'd say is with Jack moving those bowls out before Lee got there, I would always make sure the ones you've moved out, push them far enough out that they're not about the same distance as the other ones.
Yes, could have moved them a touch.
You end up counting things twice.
Yes.
How many have I got? I've got 5. You only got 4 bowls. There's one thing more often in the women's game, you'll see them throw their cloth down or you know, and put the bowls on the cloth. It is one thing that I really agree with in that tends to be the difference. The men just kick them out and they go anywhere. In the women's game, we tend to see them take more care about where they put those bowls.
He's just going to slide through about 4 feet here. Again, pushing into that breeze this way. At the moment, Lee's just searching for a weakness because he went really short. Now he's gone really long. So it's just
searching for that opening.
Searching to see where he's at, so that if he doesn't use it now, he can use it later.
Jack's replied well with that first bowl of his.
Yep. As he did with the short ones. It's not going to quite stay up for him, so still shot to Jack.
Just looking for pretty much the same bowl. Perhaps another foot of weight is all he needs. And a grasshopper on our monitor now.
Yeah, had a bug earlier.
They're coming from everywhere.
He's a strange looking
Little
grasshopper.
sneak just slowed him down enough. Takes me back to the days of the BPL Pete when we had the moth sitting on the jack.
On the jack,
yes.
Yeah. Great shot there by Lee.
That will do for number 1. Okay.
Jack's
Jack
chasing
East.
this.
Needs it to hold on now for the jack. Just glances it for no result. In fact, might have brought that back bowl of Lee Schraner into play a little. Just a sneaky chance that might be 2 now. I'm not convinced it is, but it's a sneaky chance.
I'm not convinced it is either. More umpires behind. Well, the umpires actually just doing their job, at least.
Yeah, they can't do anything about that. They're on the other green.
They're on the other
so
green, just getting their equipment out, or putting it away from a job. Coming from a pretty good angle here.
He's played it well.
It'll definitely be 2.
Steve's going to get in there and have a look just to check out whether that back bowl is in the mix.
He does tell us 2.
2 and a measure.
It was a late measure call.
It was a very late measure call. Yeah, so maybe it's...
Steve.
Yeah.
It's just covering myself here.
He got you. Yeah, he got you.
I'll remember that next time. There is the delay.
So, big bowl for Jack here. He's dropped a 3 and a 2 in the last 3 ends. Just a couple of multiples have gone against him, so... Certainly not an easy draw shot.
No.
He needs it to push all the way now. And if he beats that, well, he's fallen out. So I think we're still going to see the tape come out for that third shot. 2 already removed. I can tell you, Peter, there is one person in Western Australia that is cheering for 3 here, because Dave Rankin loves a 10-7 scoreline.
Sure, he'd rather it the other way around.
It's only 2. Yep, 2 shots confirmed. Lee Schraner moves to the lead and leads 9 shots to 7, and that is the first time Lee has been in front in the match. Other scorelines, we're just getting a score update there. It is 10-6. Although there's still more numbers being turned on that board, so I'll come back to that. 8-6 in favour of Brenton Code over Scott Dagwell, and 11-6 in favour of Glenn Pitts over Dan Baker.
So here's the challenge for Jack. Lee's thrown a bit at him. Got a couple of little numbers. Can Jack respond?
Brad, both of these guys have won a match so far. They've won 1 and lost 1. And if you want to check out the ladder, you can do that by heading to the Bowls Link portal, which you can get in the description of our feed here. You might have to press or click the little see more bit, and it'll come up with those links that are available to you to get all that information.
Nice start from here from Jack.
Thanks for all the nice comments coming through. We appreciate them, and please keep them coming, as Lee Schraner responds beautifully to Jack's first bowl and sits right in behind the Jack there, and another one that's going to be tricky for Jack East to beat. Our pet grasshopper is still very comfortable on top of our monitor.
We're supporters of wildlife. Although you were looking like you were going to give it the flick.
Jack, not far away here.
Good response here from Jack. Yeah, it's going to slide under that Jack. Will he hold?
Look at the finish. Look at that finish on that bowl.
You don't want to... That line is so important. He's just been burnt a couple of times with that line. He's either just flicked Jacks or just gone underneath them. Just wants to find another couple of millimetres on his line.
Well, Lee's missed the weight and the line slightly there, and the weight wasn't terrible, but just found himself out a bit deep. And just wonder, Jack's got more of a view of that bowl on the backhand, whether he'd be tempted to try and land it on the backhand, but looks like he's sticking with forehand. Well, if he can land another one in the area, Jack, he gives himself some real opportunities with his last.
Can he hold this time?
Just going to drop under again. Caught the Jack, but well, there's a great effort. Does set things up reasonably well for his last.
Definitely does.
He probably would have preferred that Jack just to be off the line a little bit to get more look at the bowl.
Yeah.
But it's rolled straight down the line. Great angle you're seeing on our pictures there. Mitch doing a fantastic job with the pictures for us.
So there's a bit of a shelf there you'd think that Lee is trying to take away from Jack.
Yeah.
You wouldn't mind moving the Jack, I'm sure, as well.
Tell you what, he's close too. What a great bowl. Wow. He was trying to take away the shelf.
Just filled the whole shelf, but
I think Jack
hasn't really
has
made
to.
any difference.
I think Jack probably has to go on the attack here. It's just about how much weight to use.
both go. He might lose one or two of his own.
He could lose all of his own. That's the thing he's got to think about.
But you're just going to have to, I think, back yourself here.
It's potentially a perfect result, actually, at both of Leroy's with nothing else moving.
Mm. If you get that last ball right in the middle,
yeah,
just do enough to clip it out. If you've got enough weight.
Of course, if you get the edge of the bowl, Pete, the rest goes with it. So.
Hard working around here sometimes. So he's going big weight.
What's he got?
He's got
contact, but that hasn't improved the situation for him. It may well have brought the front bowl in.
Yes, he may have hurt himself again. Just not quite getting them right.
Well, Steve Beckwood's got the tape out, so he's expecting Lee Schraner wants to measure this, and that's exactly where he's headed. So this will be 3 ends in a row for Lee Schraner and 5 out of the last 6 ends. So the foot is down, and again it's Jack that wins the measure. So
2 shots.
2 more again. It's 3 twos in a row, and it's an 11-7 lead to Lee Schraner. So the challenge has come, Pete. We knew it would.
Yes, it has.
And now Jack has the challenge just to hang on through these next few ends and keep that margin from blowing out any further. They're urging that Jack to roll a bit further. He obviously wants longer ends, which we know Lee plays long ends very well. Always has done. And he started with a pretty good one here. Perfect judgment of weight. Well, he's just taken it up a notch, Pete, and he's forced Jack to play some weighted shots, and those weighted shots haven't quite come off.
No,
he hasn't been a long way away, but they just haven't quite worked out for him, and that's what happens when you're forced to play some weight.
He's just missed his line just by millimetres. That's better. He put it out there. Didn't quite get back, but gave it the opportunity to. Again, he's got a bit more weight on this. He'll slide through the hole. Does touch the Jack. So sits in A1 position at the back. Great effort from Jack, but just didn't quite get down enough. So it's 1 and a measure to Lee Schraner. That's the call.
Under 18 girls single, Stella Palmer leads 5-4 over Evie Exton. Evie must win that game by 4 shots or more to take a place in the gold medal match. If Stella wins that game or manages to keep that margin to 2 or less, then Stella is through. So essentially Stella must score 19 to be guaranteed. If it's 21-18 to Evie, then that gets interesting and we go to percentages and things like that. But Chloe Collins already has booked her place in the gold medal match tonight, which we will show live right here at 5:30 p.m. Western Standard Time.
Similar shot to his last here, Jack. He just turned Lee over once. He could turn him over again once, but I don't think he's got the weight to do that. I'd be disappointed with that.
Will say Steve Beckwith, about as keen a bloke
Yes.
on the umpiring side of things and playing. He loves it. Our marker here.
From Jin.
Yeah. Just a genuinely great guy and a dedicated official. Look at that. Even Lee's stunned at the amount that's taken off.
Scratches the head.
So Jack with his final attempt here,
Yeah,
last bowl of this end.
And he really is playing to that bowl because he doesn't really want the jack. Jack isn't any good for him unless he's trailing at 6 inches. But if he's confident to Lee's bowl, gets a 1 turn, slides inside it.
He wants this to hold on now.
He's just missed that line again, just slightly. A really good attempt.
Well, if he was playing to land the bowl and
The weight was okay.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I think so.
So 1 was the call earlier in the end. We expect that's what it will be. Steve indicated 1.
So Jack had a really good look and Lee didn't really care.
Jack was going to measure.
Yeah.
And Lee said, no, don't worry about it. It's only 1.
Yeah.
12-7. 12-7 to Leroy. And that is now 4 ends in a row to Lee Schraner.
There's a lesson for Jack. Let the bloke with shot decide whether he wants another one or not. You just stay away from it.
So I've already mentioned we're back here tomorrow. On Sunday and Monday we'll be out at Warwick Bowling Club for the Paranationals. All of those scores as they're happening are available on that score updates page, so you can have a look at those. There is way too many games going on for us to give you all of those scores, so have a look through those and you can see how all of your favourites have fared so far.
Lee again is just churning those bowls out in that 2 foot radius, 2.5 feet.
Just bowl after bowl in that zone. Yep.
Really plays a bad bowl and makes his opponent beat him. He doesn't make it easy for anybody.
Glenn Pitts leading 12-8 over Dan Baker, and it's a 10-7 lead to Brenton Code over Scott Dagwell. So, Dave Rankin, if you're watching.
Good response there from Jack.
Dave loves the New Zealand accent for the 10-7. Lee, I think, has made a great correction here.
Yes.
He's certainly feeling it at the moment. That's a good indication of how well he's feeling the weight, isn't it, Peter? A 2 foot correction, basically. Jack's already lamenting this one. It's not quite going to make it. Just a real key time in the match right now. 12-7. Lee looking to push through to, 15, 16, 7 and really put Jack under the pump.
As you said, Lee's really feeling it now. Jack needs to respond. Just push this one through a little bit more. So it's only 1.
Impeccable line from all players there.
Yeah. Just looking for 4 feet on his last. following it. I don't know if that means anything.
Well, the weight looks better. I'm still not sure it's quite there, though. Well, it was better.
It was better. Yes.
Lee with a big opportunity to add another here.
Don't think he's climbing around. Can he climb underneath? No, don't think so.
So here's an interesting situation because Jack will be tempted to hunt the bowl. The problem is Lee, if we just pan back a little bit, has a couple of bowls right behind there.
Yep.
There's another one about to come into view. There it is. So he could play weight for the bowl, but he needs to get it clean. I mean, there might be the thought that it might bounce around. I expect he might go on the attack here.
The ones he has had haven't worked for him yet, so yep, definitely attacking that bowl.
He's watching it intently.
He's got to get.
He's got it clean. What a shot. What a shot. Takes it out right off the front of the jack. Called for the edge. And got it clean as a whistle. I believe that'll be 2 shots to Jack. There is the signal. Yes, 2 shots it is. Real crucial moment in the match there, Pete.
Really important, that. Really important.
12-9 the lead to Lee Schraner.
Didn't overplay it, didn't try and just belt it out. Played with the right weight. Just good, solid, confident weight.
Paul Butler enjoying the coverage. We know how much Paul enjoys a live stream. Good on you, Paul. Great to have you on board. Of course, Blake Butler will make his debut for WA this time next week.
Debut in a side series. Obviously, he got his opportunity a couple of weeks ago against Victoria, but in an actual side series,
yeah,
definitely.
A couple of people liking Jack's last bowl. Josh Appleyard from down there in Tassie.
Nice start there from Jack. So puts the pressure back on Lee. It's a little bit shorter, not overly short, but a little bit shorter. Response. Going to slide through a couple of feet, but it's actually quite standard for Lee, that 2 foot behind first bowl. It's not unusual for him.
I must admit, I'm a fan of that in singles. If playing singles myself, if my first bowl lands there, I'm like, yeah, good, I've got options. If it happens to come up a little bit short, well, then it's on the jack, you know. Jack East with another effort here, just needs it to finish all the way, and it looks like it will. That will do nicely so far. Does give Lee a little reference point out there, just in front of Jack High. But you can't do any more really than get your bowls close to the jack.
No.
Challenge the opposition to reply. Trouble is, and the opposition's Lee Schraner, he does reply. It's a very good bowl.
No.
The fact that it fell in.
Question's been asked. I'm not sure he's going to get a straight answer here. No, he didn't. So change of hands from Jack, looking to, I suppose, just looking to turn his own. He slides around it. He sits the last bolt. This will now be the wider hand. The breeze is slowly just swinging a little bit.
Well, this is in the area to roll his own. Well, that'll do. Well, has it?
Oh, yeah, no, the actual...
It'll do for shot.
Yes. Yes, we were looking at the bowl rolling.
The bowl he rolled up just kept going, yeah.
But the last one drops in. This won't change Lee's shot. That's just made it easier for him. As easy as it can be, same shot.
Little nudge of the jack or sit the shot bowl.
Yeah. Aiming for the jack, he's a bit wide, a bit narrow. He's still right in the area. Has he got the weight?
He's not going to be happy with that bowl.
No.
He will not be happy that he's short. You can see him just kicking himself as he wanders down the green.
Yeah, he's certainly talking to himself.
Yeah.
Yep. Very disappointed with that. There's every opportunity there.
Well,
Jack, if he could get it out there and just get that... There's way too many jacks on here, but Jack, get that jack around the corner.
Well, it's almost a draw to the side of the jack and fall on it. That's almost what he wants here. To get the angle that he needs.
He's got to get his grass line right. He doesn't want to be undercutting it.
And if he does go out a bit deep, well, he's going to finish in a handy spot just in behind.
Shows some interest.
Oh, he certainly does. What's he got here? Has he got a little piece of the jack? What a great bowl from Jack East.
Shot.
I think we can be assured that Lee Schraner will be using weight here.
I'm sure he'd like to fall down and hope it just tips the jack again and just pushes it.
Yeah, no, they don't fall down. So there is a target. I'd probably say it's unlikely that all three go, but the jack can go.
Jack can go. Depends how he hits that front bowl or whether he gets underneath it.
Here we go. It's going to be big weight from Lee Schraner. It's on its way.
It's down the line.
It's got the front, so that changes nothing, and that will be 3 shots to Jack East, and we're locked away at 12 shots apiece. It is a race to 9 from here.
It's a really well played in by Jack.
Well, we talked about getting to the side of the jack, and he just played that line perfectly. So, 12 all in a race to 21. Well, a bit of a change has come over on the next rink. Peter? Glenn Pitts.
Yes.
Glenn Pitts leads 19-8.
Yeah, he's gone
over
mad.
Dan Baker. So Queensland leading the NT there. And it's a 12-8 lead to Brenton Code over Scott Dagwell.
Yeah, that's happened over the last 3 ends, hasn't it?
Yep, Jamie's got that right. 12 all, new game. Yep, first to 9.
Yes.
There's all sorts of little intricacies that come in with the round robin format, because now at a 19-8 scoreline next door, Glenn's desperate to close that out and get that nice boost on his shots, whereas
keep it double figures.
Dan's already got a good win over Lee Schraner under his belt, wants to close that gap again so that he minimises the damage. You know, it just changes things a little bit in a knockout style format. It just changes the whole style of the way you've got to play that. Well, 2 very good opening bowls.
Yeah, sort of washes away that. If it stays at a 13, even if you don't win it, but if it stays at a 13, washes away that Lee Schraner win really quickly.
Jack East with a minor correction to make. He's very much in the area.
Very good.
Look at those first 3 bowls from these guys. Fantastic stuff. Probably slightly favour Lee Schraner has the shot at the moment. There's not much in it. I'd also be willing to bet that he won't be far away with this.
Well,
he's not far away. Where's this going? Well, Jack goes to Jack East.
He knew that quite early because he's got the hat over the eyes and knew that wasn't going to be a good result for him.
However, it's still not a bad setup for Leroy. So
it's not a disaster.
Jack needs to work up here and almost play this shot first before Lee gets the opportunity to have a go at it. Move the Jack himself.
Just... Well, he's going to count, but I think he'd want better. I think he'd rather be not counting and not be there.
I'm going to be surprised if that's still the same after this bowl. Lee Schraner with weight gets one of them out.
Clean, so
interestingly, that's actually still one and a measure at the moment. Now, on our view, it probably only looks like one, but the signal from Steve on the rink was one and a measure before that. Before Jack added another one, so it was two and a measure before that look.
Clearly only one. From our angle. One. And waiting for the delay. No, he's only saying one now. He's changed his mind.
Or maybe he's just had a chance to have a better look at it, because nothing else has moved.
No, no. So just one signal there. He's definitely got a wider line this time, Jack. Really get back.
Sorry, Jason, missed your question. We just watched to see Jack's attempt here. That won't count.
No, won't count.
So it is dead ends. Dead ends are dead. So no respot in this format, and no time limit.
No.
So we might get a better indication of how this currently sits from the shot that Lee plays here, because it sort of looks like a backhand land a shot bowl type shot, and he's got his own bowl coming up.
Maybe he might run on the forehand.
Yeah, that's the other option.
Thinking his bowl's a fair way from the shot bowl, so he's going to have to miss it by a long way to be in danger.
So he thinks he's only one down, I'd say, playing this. And he's got both.
He's got both. He might have clipped one of his own out to only be one.
I think he called both then. I think that might have been the exact way he was playing that.
Did he call both because he saw it could happen?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Because he tried to.
He certainly made contact, and it will be a score to Lee. He will re-establish a lead. He's a hard man to read on the green, so you're never quite sure.
Yeah, exactly. Giving nothing away.
He's going to have a sneaky look for two, but Steve Beckwith doesn't think he's getting it. No, just one it is, and Lee re-establishes a lead, albeit by just that one solitary shot, 13-12.
So I'm taking that through to the office?
Yeah, well, I can take it through now.
Jack will stop. Really pushing up into that breeze.
This is a really great game, I've got to say. This is the standard we've seen so far. We've seen some great draw shots, we've seen some great little trails, we've seen weighted shots.
Not easy. Really free-flowing green with a gusty-ish breeze. It's not consistent.
And as a viewer, the score's close. That's always good as well. So,
yeah, there's a bit of drawing, a bit of attacking. It's got all the elements you could possibly want.
Jack not quite going to run the journey here, but it's done enough to be close. draws round that with precision. What a great shot. You can see in singles play, Pete, there's a lot of players that focus on not changing their hand much. So Lee is one of those. He is quite happy, even if there's a bowl in the way, to say, nope, that's where I've got my best judgment. That's where I'm going to play 4 bowls the same.
Yep, definitely. It's a key to consistency is trying to stick on that hand as much as possible.
And Jack with a very good reply there, just trickles in behind. Could be handy to give himself options. And just as we say that, Lee's changing his hand, but that's because he's now definitely got shot.
Yeah, exactly. It's a difference now. It's not a maybe shot, it's a definite shot. It's a maybe two.
Pump this out on a very wide line.
He will get the breeze back, but will he get enough?
I'll tell you what, it tried hard to get back.
It's a chance. No, it's not. 2, do you think?
I'd favour the second, but it's tight. Yeah, 2.
2.
So Jack's got chances here, needs to work up just through his own bowl or just underneath it for landing or a little trail.
He's got a bit
in
of
the area
weight on him, so
just on the outside.
Does go through to the ditch, unfortunately. Yeah, any little clip at that pace was working wonders.
He probably had a little bit more than he would have liked, but he was certainly looking to give it a chance. Leroy in the zone here, line-wise, has the weight. Well, it's actually pulled up quick. I thought he had a little bit more juice on that, so...
I'm sure Jack can do a lot different. There's a lot of holes there. Be playing weight.
This is where the shots... the wind's not doing an awful lot at the moment, but it is there. These shots just become that little bit trickier with the moderate weight. But he can't afford to be using big weight.
No, he doesn't need his to be moving, the front one.
Oh, this is going to be big weight.
He's going to have to be awfully close to his own unless he's just going bare jack.
Well,
he's looking underneath his assume.
This is close to his own. He's got his own and he's got the jack as well.
Jack, that helped.
And that has gone out of bounds, so that is a fairly fortunate result.
No jack was 3 down.
I think he almost went back apologetically to Lee.
All I know is inside he's really happy.
So that is a dead end, and as we had that question earlier on, does it remain dead? And it certainly does. Robert just asking about Brenton Code's progress. So he lost his first game and he had to buy also. So he's only played the one game and lost that. He's leading 16-9 now though over Scott Dagwell. And Glenn Pitts is leading 19-10 over Dan Baker.
Yeah, he's having a bit of trouble closing that out, isn't he?
Well, he scooted his way to 19-8 very quick, and Dan just pushing back. So Lee with a ditch-to-ditch length here. This is tee to tee.
There's a bit of a runner on the ring next door, so he's just waiting for that. Yeah, it's a genuine tee to tee, isn't it? It's not a bad start, is it?
I'll tell you what, weight looks handy. although I got stumped by the last by him in the last direction. I think what got me is that previous direction is into the breeze a bit, and it just the bowl turned late.
So that one didn't quite get back because the breeze is turning a little bit more, so that is becoming narrower all the time. And who reads it first? Could get a couple of shot advantage.
Yeah, they've both found themselves out on a slightly wideish line there, haven't they? Jack's still getting back a bit there. Lee with the line adjustment to make. And looks to have done a pretty good job with it. Look at that. Great bowl. It is delicate out there at the moment. This in this direction with the breeze, as you mentioned, Pete. Probably running second and a half quicker than up into the breeze, especially with it now starting to blow a bit harder.
Okay, and Jack made the same line adjustments. Just got to get down a little bit more, and not going to quite make it. Just sailing here a little bit, and usually push that.
Of course, a reminder in the comments there about the Bowls Now app. Absolutely, you can get your hands on the Bowls Now app if you haven't downloaded already. Do that in the Apple Store or the Google Play Store. Very simple download, and you can keep track of all the news across the next fortnight. There'll be plenty of posts from Bowls Australia with updates. There'll be posts from all the states, I'm sure. Keeping everyone up to date as Jack looks to land here.
Lands the bowl.
And he's done it. Interesting little flip of the bowl, but still stays in there for shot.
Stays in there for one, so a similar shot I would expect here from Lee.
Yeah, nothing over the top here, just enough to land the bowl. Lee was starting to walk after this and then paused.
Has he got the run? No, he doesn't. So put up 2-3 feet short there. Jack just making Steve confirm.
Are you sure? Yes. Are you sure I've got it?
I need someone to blame if you're wrong.
Might be a temptation to switch to the backhand now for Jack. Yeah, that's where he's going. You get a nice reference point just in behind the Jack with Leroy's bowl.
It's definitely centred out there.
It will be hooping back late.
Yeah, that breeze will catch hold of it.
This is not far away. How far back will it get?
Get far enough.
That is really well played.
Played that line really well. Bit of a shake of the head of Steve. He's reaching for his measure.
Well, Lee's not one to muck around. If he doesn't think he can win the measure here, he won't even look. Worth a look. We saw Lee up the other end with only claiming one, and there, if he thought it was two, he would have given Jack two. So this will be at least close. And great view here.
Just out.
Just in by the look of it.
Yep. I was just going to poke out.
Oh, right.
Just in.
So 2 shots it is to Jack East. He retakes the lead, and it is 14-13 advantage.
You have to give a bit of a warning to the players. They got to keep their nails clean.
with close-ups like that, yes. Brilliant pictures. We're loving bringing the coverage. There's going to be plenty of it over the next fortnight.
So Jack's done really well. He stemmed the tide when Lee was putting a lot of pressure on him, and he's exerting a little bit back on his own. So now it's time for Lee to stand up.
Don't forget, for all the coverage, just keep an eye on the Bowls Australia Facebook page. There'll be a post each evening to let you know where we will be on the day after. And I can tell you, tomorrow we're right back here from 8:30 a.m. Western Standard Time. So for those of you that like to get a few jobs done around the house and things like that in the east, you've got a few moments to do that, and then you can watch us late into the evening.
And even if you don't like, you probably should. That's what my household's like. Let's put up a couple of feet short.
We do get plenty of people through these big events that say, I just haven't got time to do everything I need to do and watch all the bowls, you know.
Also pulling up a bit short.
Well, this is an opportunity for Lee now to close right in on this Jack with a little bit of blockage at the front in terms of any sort of attacking shots now. Yeah. Sneak in behind here and land one right on the Jack.
First the Jack.
Doesn't look like it's got enough on it.
It's going to be hard to move.
What's troubling them here is just into this breeze at the moment. We've been there, Pete. We know what it can be like here.
Frustrating. That's what it can be like. You think you've got enough and you get a gust and you haven't.
So you push.
Push and the gust
Off
don't
you
come.
Go. Jack's done a good job here.
Sitting behind it, really good.
That'll do for number 1.
Oh, little magpie just scoots behind Lee there. Here he comes. And he took Lee out on the ankles. That's a great shot, but it'll be just enough, I think. Yes. Really good correction there, and he's still prancing around.
He's caught himself some bait.
He's probably got that grasshopper we had earlier.
Yeah, maybe.
Something reasonably large. Can Jack really just fall in off his own? We'll give him a shot.
He's wanting it to get down a little.
Yes. He's not far away here. This is a great shot.
Did he pull up in time? That's the question.
I think he's just not done enough.
Still one to Lee. You can see why Jack was just urging that to just get down a touch. Glenn Pitts has emerged victorious there, 21-11 over Dan Baker, and it's 18-9 to Brenton Code over Scott Dagwell at the moment. And Lee will come up short there, so we expect that is one to Lee Schraner, where, well, this is interesting, Pete, and
what are you going to hit me with?
Well, you know I love my patterns, right?
Yes, I do.
After 8 ends, it was 7-all. After 16 ends, it's 14-all.
Ah.
So, What that means
mean?
is after 24 ends, it's going to be 21 all.
We're in for a draw.
No, we can't have 21 all. But yeah, it's that sort of match. It's been so tight. Very high standard match in these conditions, that's for sure. And who will win this one? Who knows at this stage? 7 shots required for each. Well, slightly shorter end, still a long end, but slightly shorter than what we've seen. Lee just comes up about 2.5 feet short with his first.
Friendly magpie still perusing.
Yeah, I think that's a different one. I think there's a few doing the rounds at the moment, as Jack's played a great shot here. Beautifully done. Wants us to stay right on the jack now. That's really well played.
I think he's still got food in his mouth.
Yeah.
He is. Very friendly around here.
Big weight here. Oh, and wow. Got the jack clean.
Not sure you could see the jack clean.
So that was big weight from Lee Schraner. Kills the end. It's our second dead end we've had in this match. And with only 3 bowls played, they'll take them back up the other end and have another go from that end. It'll be interesting to see whether Lee changes the length here. I think having had Jack nail that, I think you'll see that Jack right out to the tee again.
Yeah, another 5 feet.
Pam Chalmers watching on, enjoying the coverage.
Pam will be in action later this week.
Certainly
with
will.
The seniors.
One of the characters of our game. We love Pammy. Looks like Brenton Code's closed out victory over there. 21-9, a win to Brenton Code over Scott Dagwell.
So he goes to 1 win, 1 loss, 1 draw.
Well,
1 bye, we'll say.
Has Lee got this jack a little further? He has. Definitely a little bit further than last time. Probably about another metre. It's one thing to remember, if you drive and kill an end, it probably means that the opposition's played some good bowls. Don't just jump on the mat and roll the same length again, because
they'll still be in the swing.
Yes. Now, how's Leroy gone with the first one here? He looks in the zone. Well, that is a great starter. We're being entertained here. This is fantastic stuff. Perth Sea Breeze is well and truly in full swing at the moment.
Yeah, it's got that nice cooling edge as well. The players will be appreciating that part of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe not the strength of it, but maybe the cool edge of it's got on. So Lee's just a little bit higher, is he? No, he's getting back to his own. It's actually getting under it. Right on it. One of the 3.
Good call, Pete.
I covered all bases. Covered all bases. That's what you do.
So Jack with a correction of about 4 feet to make here. Had the line. Needs this to pull up or land.
Still might have the 4 feet.
Yes. Well, advantage Lee Schraner right now. 14 all, holding a good 2. A chance to add another and put Jack under some pressure here.
Yes.
We've only seen 2 scores of 3 in the match, and 1 each.
Pull up short, so he's going to make. Jack's going to have to think about what he does here. That's a real nuisance.
It's one of those good bad bowls, isn't it? Surely didn't mean that.
No. So,
but it's landed right in a good line.
Jack go out. Mr. Magpie is annoying Jack. He's not a Magpie fan, clearly.
We're steering clear of Magpie fans. No, come on, we're not going there. Already been warned by one of the guys not to mention Collingwood. One of our commenters earlier on mentioned that.
Oh, I must have missed that one.
So Jack has switched hands.
He has.
He played this hand well earlier on in the match, and he's not far away again.
How much?
This is a very good bowl. What a shot.
Hold has he got?
Great shot, Jack East.
Well played, Jack.
Well, Lee will attack, but Jack's got the back of the rink.
He's got the prime position now, those two bowls, 4 feet past, 5 feet past.
Lee will come down and have a look at this and assess what he needs to do, because he wants to play to land that bowl. But he's going to have a look at what happens if the Jack moves and how he can mitigate that, because the problem is if he only gets a piece of the Jack, his bowl will be going sideways.
Yes.
And he's probably going to find himself 2 or 3 down. So he will want to chase that, but I'm not sure he can.
He may take the more aggressive option so his bowl isn't swinging away.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be full because you still want to be swinging under your own two, but if you get the Jack, you want it to the ditch, and you want your bowl to be going to the ditch. If you're going to play that.
Well, if he does play that with weight to get right to the ditch, I think he'd be unlucky to be more than 1 down if it doesn't quite go his way.
Yep.
I do think we'll see some form of aggressive shot here. His own bowl at the front protects him from getting to his own 2 bowls.
Yes. He plays pretty good solid here. He won't have a problem with that. That's what he's playing. Playing actually a bit quicker.
It's close.
So it's close to the Jack.
It's got the Jack and gone in with it. So, yeah, that was the safer weight to play that, as we discussed. And his toucher goes in almost on top of the Jack, just a couple of bowl widths away from the Jack.
So that's Jack's toucher that he's looking at there. Here's only 1 down.
Yeah, it's a bit of a no-risk shot. He can't draw it, really. So I think that's what he'll be looking for. There's potentially one bad angle he can get here, but
he can get right off the edge of it, back to his own, I suppose.
Yeah.
But that'd be terrible. You'd have to get that ball out of bounds. You'd have to be unlucky, wouldn't you?
Yeah. He's going to play it by the look of it, and it looked like he thought about it for a moment.
But if you're not going to play it, you might as well just carry your ball up there, because I'm not sure he's not out drawing it.
So Waite looking for his own toucher, and he's already
given that up,
backed off it.
Oh, he's probably cost himself another one here, has he? Maybe not.
Oh, Lee has another toucher in the ditch there. Or does he?
No,
that's
the one
been
that just
removed.
got.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably only 1. Oh, they're having a look for a second, aren't they?
He's interested.
Oh, it is 2. There it is. 2 shots it is to Lee Schraner. So little unlucky result.
Yeah.
That's where Jack hasn't had an awful lot of fortune with his weighted shots, albeit he didn't hit what he was looking for there. So 16-14 lead to Lee Schraner, but it won't surprise us to see Jack challenge again. Fantastic display from both of these players. The other 2 matches in the men's division of the Champion of Champions have wrapped up. Glenn Pitts and Brenton Code, our 2 winners. See if we can get a couple of little updates from the under-18 girls, because we are covering their final a little later. Wow.
Great start there from Lee.
So Amity Bickley has won her match 21-10. That won't be enough for her to challenge for a gold medal place. But Stella Palmer and Evie Exton are at 11-9.
Jeez.
Stella Palmer leading that one. So the race is on for a gold medal berth. Stella Palmer needs to get to 19 to be guaranteed a gold medal spot. If it ends 21-18 in favour of Evie Exton, then we go to percentage. And if Evie Exton wins 21-17 or better, then Evie Exton would get the gold medal position. The gold medal match
Are they in
position.
danger of not finishing? It's a 2.25 hour time, so
Yeah, well, they could well be.
45 hour time, so 40 minutes left.
Yeah, there was a game earlier. No, sorry. I thought there was a game earlier that got timed, but no, they've all been completed so far. So
there may be a little bit to go on that, depending on where the updates are coming from, but just trying to have a bit of a look while Jack is trying to draw, well, second shot to start with. He just needs to trundle a little bit further. He'll definitely get the second. It's a good effort. So I'm just looking at girls singles, Queensland versus South Australia. So that updated score was a little bit behind because that's saying Queensland 20, South Australia 14.
wow, okay. So that has Stella into the final.
So we don't know how quickly they moved, but
Yep, 2014, Stella will be into the final. So there you go. Our girls under 18 final will be Stella Palmer versus Chloe Collins.
so Jack's sliding up here on his backhand because looking to turn his own, I'm assuming, because but he's just hanging out a bit wide, or find the hole to sit the shot bowl. Tough shot.
So 5:30, an hour and a half, just under an hour and a half from now. If you're doing your time conversions, that is when the girls' final will get underway.
So will Jack try the same shot? Looks like he's lining up to try the same shot. Just ditch weight, turn his own, find a hole around it to sit Lee's shot bowl.
Needs to be a little bit careful with how much weight he uses
Yeah.
here. Can't lose his own bowl out of the head here.
He hasn't had too many good results with these kind of shots. Yes, he's backed the weight off a fair way. So
Yeah, he's just tried to work his own bowl up there, I think. So
just a little underneath.
one more to Lee Schraner. He leads at 17-14, goes to within that one end of victory.
On the doorstep. Knocking on the door.
No, he's not knocking on the... Oh, no,
Yeah, he's just knocking.
he's knocking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
a
the
gentle
19 he's
knock.
banging.
Right, okay, yep, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
17-14. Of course, all of this wonderful action courtesy of Tourism WA, the Department of Local Government, Sport and Cultural Industries in the city of Joondalup, where we find ourselves smack bang in for this whole fortnight.
While you are looking at the results, can you tell me what the girls are doing in the ladies in the Champ of Champs? I see one result. I think Queensland beat NT, I believe. Put the push on him.
The pressure's not on me. Not quite sure.
It's a great start from Lee. Not quite sure they're coming through.
Yeah, so we might leave that for now.
Okay. Can Jack respond?
Well, Lee's got the foot down at the moment, hasn't he?
Sees the... That's a really good reply. Fell backwards.
It just feels like
Still going for the front, but
Jack needs an end right now. I mean, that sounds silly to say at 17-14. Of course he does, but you know what I mean. It just feels like he just needs to change that momentum right now.
yeah, Lee's feeling there's opportunity if he can just find a couple of really good shots here.
Breeze just eased off for the time being. No, Lee doesn't want the jack
Doesn't want
here.
the jack. And
He got a little piece of it, yeah. So here's it is 1 to jack at the moment. There you go, you can see that. Our markers don't get in the way often, but they do need to get in there and make sure that they see what happens.
Yes,
So can't blame Steve for getting right in there then.
So it only just touched, so it could have even been less of a touch.
Well, Jack will know that he just needs to play the same bowl now. Doesn't look too far off the same bowl.
His angle looks pretty good. Just
He's done it well. Done it very well. Little nudge of the jack to his own as well. Sits with a very nice 2 shots.
he's going to have to negotiate his own bowl. I know it is off the line, but it is still sitting there. Just in the eye line enough. He's following, so he's liking it. He doesn't follow a lot of bowls, Lee. Only the good ones.
Urging it home. What a shot. Well, he's nudged the
shots.
jack, and who knows? That looks like it might be Lee Schraner's shot, but who knows?
Pretty sure, Steve, you're going to get asked this question. So you might as well keep looking.
Jack's asked whether he can come and have a look, and who could blame him? Boy, oh boy, what a great shot.
Steve is holding up 1 blue paddle.
Which is what we expected. It did look that way. Yes, we can definitely confirm that Stella Palmer will be in the under-18 girls' final. They're still playing there, but she has reached a score that will allow her to be secured in there against Tasmania and Chloe Collins. So we look forward to that one a little later on.
What's Jack's decided? Because he's got the backer one as well, so the bowl onto the jack is no good for him.
I wondered whether he might look backhand for a little bit of nudge, but he's not doing that. He's obviously seen something he thinks he can create on the forehand.
It's just minimal weight, so he's just looking for a little minimal split, but I was just trying to draw it maybe.
I'll tell you what, that bowl of Lee Schraner up there at the front of the head is in a very, very valuable position at the moment, because that is protecting any sort of shot that Jack can play on that backhand.
Yes.
If that wasn't there, you look at that angle and there's a nice shot to just come down there and try and sit that bowl out in the backhand, you can almost get it out clean. Just goes to show that sometimes you don't have to be all over the jack to be valuable.
So Lee is changing hands, so he said he doesn't want to fatten it up or change anything. I wouldn't have thought. He certainly wouldn't be tight. He's not moving his own bowl at the front either. Although, I say that, he's not moving the front.
He's clear here. He's actually going to drop in the ditch, I think.
Say it's the weight that held him.
So is there anything there for Jack East here?
Can Jack play, that tight and look to shimmy off the front to get the right angle. Yeah.
So work off his almost his own last
so
bowl.
So he's playing tight. If he shimmies off Lee's at the front, or he gets past that onto his own, to get the right split angle.
Yeah, look, if he gets Lee's up onto Jack, his own bowl might hang around for second shot.
Lee's might not be able to get to Jack because it looks like it's really hitting the belly of Jack, not the Jack.
Jack's bowl.
Have I confused people yet? So that might not be able to get up. It might actually just slide off. Might still be shot, but it might not actually slide to the Jack. So tight with a metre here would be even maybe 2 metres.
Here we go. It's on its way.
He might have. He's got a fair bit of weight on this.
Looks like he's backing off already. What's he got? Oh, just missed. There was an all from the crowd. Don't think the outside edge was doing much for him, but he might have actually rocked the bowl out. You never know. But now, will we see a measure here, or are we comfortable that it is 1-2 Lee? Based on that weight, you'd think Jack felt that he was down. No, he does want to have a look.
No, I don't think he does. Okay. He just threw the mat away because Jack's got one in his hand.
Right, I misread that communication. 18-14 it is to Lee Schraner now. He is now 3 shots away from home. And he has won 4 ends in a row since trailing 13-14. We've played 19 ends in the match. 12 ends have gone the way of Lee Schraner. Just 7 ends the way of Jack East. But Jack has scored in multiples all but once. So 6 of those ends that he's won have been multiples. So when he scores, he's scoring well, and he needs one of those ends right now.
So ditch again, as expected.
Healthy crowd on the balcony watching this one.
Solid crowd. You think it'd be a bit more solid come the night game?
Yeah, and then potentially tomorrow as well, being a weekend day. As Jack plays a great first bowl. Yep, if you're thinking about it, if you're watching here and you are in the area, then if you can't get down here tonight, then certainly get here tomorrow.
Yes. So the live stream's great, but there's lots of other good games going on that you might
There's
see.
our culprit that keeps running across the green. You can't be too mean to the Magpies here. The locals do like them.
I think there's 2 of them. Oh no, there's 4 of them. I see another 2 playing around, playing games on the green now. Pulled up a touch short there from Lee. So,
well, I can tell you if Val Febo was here, he'd be getting nervous now because they're surrounding us. He's not a fan of the Magpies.
So Jack just needs to climb around that. So he's looking to climb around that front bowl, which he has. Has he got the weight to get all the way? That's enough. That's enough.
That sounded like hard work, Pete.
I'm trying to hang on. I don't know if I can hang on to the 5:30 game.
So 2 shots to Jack at the moment.
The birds have got me nervous.
Just a little bit of movement up the end again.
Yes, it is. Don't move. Young Tasmania's not going to help.
Another one. Yep. It is awkward when there are games going on the other green because people are moving without even realising. You know, they don't look up and they're just concentrating on the green they're on. As Lee has sailed a touch wide here. The greens do back onto each other here, so you will get a bit of movement from the other green. So can Jack find a way to get another one in here? He's not far away.
He's just got to climb again.
Well, I don't know, that
Maybe.
that's close. 2 and a look. Steve was ready with 3 paddles, but he's backed off that.
He's changed his mind.
So you'll see this is a good opportunity to show you how the ITOs work. So Schraner's in there having a look. I think Steve wants to get in there and have a better look, but he won't do that while Lee is looking at the head. As soon as Lee turns away, now Steve will go in there and have a look.
Nice timing. And he's back to 3.
3 it is. So that's the way the ITOs are trained, not to get in the head while the player is looking at the head.
As one walks past us. Good timing again. It's pretty important from Lee. 3 down. Jack's back in the game if he gets this. There are a lot of things to hit, but the angles aren't great for him. So,
Just got one of them.
not one of them.
That was probably the one that we weren't exactly sure of, although Steve had signalled 3. Now an opportunity for Jack to draw another, and if he can do that, he also will move to within 1 end of victory.
They'll be fighting over the doorstep.
This looks a little different from his
Yes.
previous attempts
Yes.
up here.
He's given this oh.
Just
Ooh.
missed the Jack. So 2 it will be to Jack East, and it is an 18-16 lead to Lee Schraner as we close in on 21 shots. And we start to, well, we're anticipating the end of this match, and we start to just think about that under-18 girls final as well. It'll be Stella Palmer, who is still out there trying to close out victory against Evie Exton,
Yes.
but
She's done enough.
she has booked her place in the final, and she will take on Chloe Collins from Tasmania. That will happen in just over an hour's time. So make sure you've liked the Bowls Australia Facebook page and you've got your notifications turned on, and when we go live for that under-18 girls final, you don't have to miss a bowl.
As is the way. Looks like the last game out here will be the Jack Lee game, and Mitch over there is hoping they get off quick so he can move these cameras. He's going to be under a bit of pressure because we are moving to the other green behind us for the final, so there's a bit of movement to be done.
Our movement's easy, Pete.
Yeah,
We just turn around.
Yeah, we're just going to the other side of the table.
Right. Lee Schraner just looks to be struggling to finish this one off, so both players with a correction to make, the opposite correction to make on their first attempts.
Should be able to get under it, but Jack's played some good bowls in this wider hand, so he shouldn't be scared of it, I wouldn't have thought. Lee has played very little on this wider hand.
He's going to need to finish.
He's just going to lay up.
Well, the opportunity's there for Lee Schraner to nail this jack now.
Also changing to this backhand. I think his length is pretty good. He's just got to hold on, which he does. Great shot. Jack looking about 4 feet on his last. He's also got to hang on. He's just undercut this grass a little, so it's a solid second, but still a bit of room.
Just to clarify there is a question about whether or not there's another game from Brad. Yes, there is another round of Champion of Champions singles
Yes.
this evening. It is a big day.
It's like it's 4 today and 3 tomorrow, isn't it, the rounds?
Yeah, with a bye in there for every player, so Lee just skirts around the outside of the jack there.
So it's only one.
Yeah, each player gets a bye, so someone, or a couple of players will have had to have played all 4 today.
Yes. So Jack just needs to get it out here a little bit more.
But as we mentioned, we will switch our coverage to the gold medal match for the under-18 girls as Jack East urging this one to keep rolling. It's trying.
Every roll.
Well, it fell out.
It fell out. I think it might have been for a second.
I think there was a yes from the crowd, and as that was that was shouted out, it fell out. And Jack looked into the crowd and said, "Who was that?"
Yes.
Some cheering coming across from the under-18s behind us. Great to see. It's great to see them enjoying what they're about.
It's a 10-9 game, so that's the girls' fours.
Yeah, Victoria versus
the composite. Which
yeah,
is Victoria and New South Wales
that is
composite.
yes.
So
Yep.
So a bit of rivalry there as well.
Yeah, for sure. Friendly rivalry, I'm sure. Can Lee weave his way through to add another here? He's going to need to get down under his own and run. Not going to run.
I don't think it's going to run.
Gee, the line was nice. Oh, it wasn't far away.
So one.
One it is. 19-16 in favour of Lee Schraner in what has been an epic game of bowls so far. We're 21 ends in, but the only 21 that counts is on the scoreboard right here, not on the ends. Jason saying no matter what the result, Jack East looks like an awesome talent.
Certainly is. Very level head. Respects the game. He's got all attributes covered.
I'm going to say one of the things I notice, Pete, is when you know, Jack's involved in the. I mean, he's a member of the Open State team as well.
Yes.
And, you know, things like when you have a meeting in the club before you go out, so you're using someone's club. You know, you arrange the chairs so you're all in a meeting. You know, everyone hops up to go out. Jack's always one of those ones that's behind, making sure that everything goes back, so that things are back the way they were. Just a respectful young man.
Yep.
It's great to see.
Still
Just
getting
those
better.
little things you notice. You know.
Yep. Still getting better.
Just passes underneath and pushes across. So Lee Schraner 2 shots away from victory here.
He's trying to run this one out. He won't quite. This will make Jack's decision whether he goes around.
Stella Palmer's finally closed out victory over there, 21-19 over Evie Exton. So a fantastic effort from Evie.
Does that put her out of the bronze medal game?
It does. Yes, Amity Bickley will play for bronze. And if I have this right, I'll just check.
She's going to scoot around the outside here, Jack.
In fact, it has to be. It's going to be Amity Bickley versus Reese Finn Young in the bronze medal match, which is our final from last year.
Yeah. Again, Lee just looking to slide around, slide under. He won't care which one. Still helps. He has the two that he needs, but still a bit of room for Jack. Can he hold on? Because he is a little tight. Holds to the bowl. Flops.
That looks like shot, doesn't it? Yeah, definitely. That is signalled by Steve.
Just a little bit of luck there because he was going out of the head a fair way. He's just taking a bit of time to compose himself, considering whether he's going to go for that bowl. I suspect that he might. 2 seconds. On his way.
Big weight, looking for the bowl, and nothing. So yes, confirming those results. It's all official in Bowls Link now. Chloe Collins from Tasmania versus Stella Palmer from Queensland for the gold, and for the bronze, Amity Bickley from Victoria versus Reese Finn Young from New South Wales. Check out all those other results from the under-18s competition on Bowls Link. Right now, Jack East is looking to see if he can get another one in here.
Using that lead bowl as his marker, just sliding under that.
He's got his eye on it.
He's in the area. Can he hold enough again?
Just depends how much this runs away. Oh, I feel like that's done enough.
I think so. I believe so.
If so, it's going to move him to 18. We've got another nail biter on our hands, Pete.
Game
2 shots
again.
it is. 19-18 lead to Lee Schraner as we get closer to the end of this one. Both players within the one end of victory. I would suggest you make sure you put your notifications on, because we may have a slight... Look, it's 4:33 local time. Whether or not that girls' singles final does get underway at exactly 5:30, we'll see how that goes. But it might be slightly after that. But we'll get your notifications on, and that way, as soon as we go live, you'll have all the coverage.
Nice start here from Jack.
Beautifully played. Can already see people positioning themselves to watch
the finals.
That under-18 girls final.
They're
getting their seats and they will not budge.
We might have to stay in our seats to make sure we don't lose it.
Lee Schraner not far away with this either. Well, stunning bowls from both players. Couldn't have asked for much more for our coverage and for these two to put on a show like they have.
So again, Jack, he's not far away again. He's very close to this. Will he get down enough is the question. Not quite, just hung out there a little bit too long.
Carmen said, I've noticed Jack nearly always picks up the jack and the mat for his opponent. And Barbara asking whether Lee was a WA player. No, but you might recognise Lee from the Perth Suns.
Play for the Perth Suns. For
Never actually been a WA player, but did a fantastic job for the Perth Suns with a certain fellow commentator of mine as the coach.
Made the finals, just couldn't quite get it done.
Something Jack East might aspire to as well.
Certainly.
Pete, down the track.
Certainly. So switch of hands here. Looking to sit that Lee Schraner bowl. A little touch of the jack wouldn't hurt, but I think he's just sliding under.
Yeah, I was going to say that he's handled that hand pretty well most of the match, but just, it's not far away, but just dropping under.
Probably just maybe just looking for that trail a little bit, which means you tend to play a touch tighter than you probably should. Just got to let that trail come to you rather than you come to the trail.
Well, Lee needs to get underneath now.
Not done enough to give him 2. Well, made certain of that second one.
Well, if it is 2, that's Lee Schraner holding game right now, Pete.
What's Stephen telling us? It is 2. So line game.
The perfect shot from Jack East could have him holding game after this bowl. But he will take anything other than 2 down right now.
So, on his way. He's got a bit more weight, I think. I'm not sure he's got any more line, bud.
This is going to drop across. Is he going to hold on for second shot? He hasn't.
So, Lee will come down and have a look. Or is he going to be trusting? I'll be coming down, Lee. Steve's backing away from 2.
So yeah, Steve just saying, look, come and have a look, which is fair enough. I think Jack's ready to shake hands.
Yeah, I think so. Yes, he hasn't gone to the seats. And
There it is. There it is. A fantastic display by both players. A 21-18 victory to the star Lee Schraner. But Jack East can take a bow there. A young man on the rise, performing in local conditions with a big crowd behind him. He's come up 3 shots short, but I think everyone watching, we've had wonderful comments come through, have acknowledged the wonderful performance by Jack East. Pete, we're not going to muck around here.
No,
we are going to leave you for now, and we will be back. Make sure you turn your notifications on. Like the Bowls Australia Facebook page. We've got the girls' final coming up. Chloe Collins from Tasmania to take on Stella Palmer from Queensland. We'll be back in around about 45 to 50 minutes right here at Sorrento. We'll catch you then.